This is Randall Phillips again, event and business consultant or business and event consultant from pdvgroupventure.com. Today we're going to talk about an awesome concept that I read about in the incredible book that you need to have in your library, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. We're going to talk today about burning your bridges. Now, I alluded to this before when we talked about the subject, what do you really want? Burning your bridges kind of goes hand in hand with that, in that Napoleon Hill tells this story in Think and Grow Rich about Caesar, which I think is a true story. I don't know if it was or not. I think it was. But it said that Caesar, when he went from Rome to a faraway land, what he did was go to the land that he was going to conquer. And then once he and all his troops arrived on dry land after traveling through the sea, he ordered his troops to burn all of the ships. The reason why he burned all of the ships is so that they had no choice but to keep going forward and to win. Because if there were ships there, just like us in life, what would happen is we would have an option of going back. But Caesar had a goal, and he knew what he wanted. He wanted to conquer that land. And think about this. Here's something I thought about when I heard the story. I said to myself, well, once he conquered the land and he burned the ships, he did his research. He already checked out the resources that were available in the land, so he can easily build more ships once he won. But if you think that, well, I may not win, I may lose, so I have these ships so I can retreat, then you have that option in the back of your mind. You can say, well, there's a possibility I won't win, so I can hedge myself. Winners in history have not hedged themselves of, I'm going to possibly do good or I may not do good. They go, without fail, I will die first before I don't accomplish this goal. That's the kind of mindset that you need to have when doing business or any other goal that you have in life. And these things, I want to tell you too, these things that I'm talking about, I've encountered firsthand, which I think is really the best way to tell a story about anything. It's hard to talk to somebody about something that you've never experienced. And when you do the burning your ships and saying, there's no retreat, there's no going back, once you've done that and had the strength and conquered, because all the time, honestly, you may not conquer, you may lose, but usually if you have that strength in you to say, I'm going to win no matter what, you usually win, because all of the forces that are against you, they can't compete with a single focus of, I'm going to do this. Well, you can have defeat if you're saying, Napoleon Hill says you can't go to second base if you keep your foot on first base. It just doesn't work. You have to do one or the other. I made some notes, and the second point I want to talk about is, once you find what you really want, it may not be conveniently located. For instance, you may have to move. That's right, I said it. I'm trying to make sure that I keep my time here. And moving scares people. It really does. Zig Ziglar, in a lot of his things, talks about the fact that if you have an entrepreneurial mind and you're saying to yourself, I want to go and make progress to the next level or the next success, people who focus on that success don't think about all of the bad things that could happen. And sometimes you need to get out of your rut. If you've been somewhere all your life and you really haven't had any success, or what you deem success, what you have to know what that is for yourself. It might be success with your family, success with your business, or just making progress mentally. I mean, that's a good thing to do, is to get some progress mentally. Know where you are in the stream of time. When you go somewhere else, it's like turning the page and having a fresh start. And what can happen many times is when you go from a place that you've been all your life and go somewhere new, those people don't know you. Those people don't take you for granted. Those people don't go, oh yeah, there they go, doing that entrepreneurial thing again. It's a whole new slate, and sometimes you need that. The third point, without looking back, have your mind open to new opportunity, which is kind of like what I just said, but opportunity is different from a job. When you apply for a job or you work in corporate America, they'll present it as an opportunity, but really isn't. You're facilitating a need that they have based upon a budget or some kind of deadline or something like that. An opportunity is different in that it's something that everybody in the area will see, but they may not grasp the gravity of what it is. For instance, I have my phone right here, and some people may go, well, that's a cell phone. I can call people and, make appointments and things like that. But having this phone has given me the opportunity to be able to schedule things better, as well as be able to have more control of my life. So during the time when I thought about getting the phone, I may have said, I really don't want to spend the money to have a smartphone, which I did for many years. And I'm going to be honest with you on that. I don't need all that fancy stuff and all like that. I don't know. But I was blinding myself or shielding myself from an opportunity to be able to get into a different place as far as productivity for my business. Perfect example. Number 4 that I want to talk about as far as burning your bridges, the thing to think about when doing the burning of the bridges is this. 1, where will you go? 2, who will you need to meet? 3, what resources will you need? 4, you need to establish a base of operations. The 5th point is think about the absolute worst case scenario and plan ahead for that. Many times we try to be optimistic as people because nobody wants to deal with the grim reality of life. We want to say, well, hopefully it'll work out. Well, sometimes it won't. But the thing that will help the most is if you plan for the worst, usually the worst won't happen. But if you plan for the best thing to happen, that's called being a little naive. Because it's, especially when you're doing something new, there's so many factors that had nothing to do with you that you need to plan for every contingency. It's kind of like a military strategy, like Navy SEALs. There's books that I have on that. They plan for maybe 25 different outcomes. I mean, the mission may be to go from here to there, but in between here and there may be 25 different things that they didn't encounter or didn't anticipate happening, but they plan for that. So when it happens, they're not like, oh my God, oh, this thing happened. Same thing with us in our business and life. Plan for the worst, it usually won't happen. But if you plan for, sunshine day and, like Jim Rohn says, fluffy clouds, it's kind of being naive. That's what I have for today. I went way over time, and I apologize for that. But I got another blog coming tomorrow, which you can see. But check us out at pdbgroupventure.com. This is Randall Phillips, business and event consultant. If you have any comments for me as to how I can, develop what I'm doing better, I really appreciate those. And if you need any help with your business, we're willing to give you a hand with that too. Contact us at media@pdbgroupventure.com. Thanks a lot for tuning in again. Take care.